When you listen to a band as dynamic as Mrs. Green Apple, you're hearing this incredible universe of sounds. But have you ever really stopped to think about who builds that universe? Well, today we're diving deep into the mind and the gear of their guitarist, Hiroto Wakai, to figure out just how he architects the band's absolutely signature sound. And this quote? It's just perfect. For Wakai, the guitar isn't just an instrument to be played. It's a tool he uses to design the entire emotional landscape of every single track. I mean, his role goes way beyond just killer riffs and solos. He's a true architect of the band's whole sonic identity. Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to start with his role as a sound architect. Then we'll explore his tools, both his incredible guitar palette and the brain of his rig. After that, we'll get into his core song-first philosophy. And finally, we'll look at how you can take these ideas and use them yourself. So, right off the bat, let's talk about the unique challenge Wakai faces. Mrs. Green Apple isn't just a rock band or a pop band, right? They fuse everything from funk to huge orchestral ballads, and somehow, his guitar sound has to fit perfectly into all of it. This kind of musical diversity means he can't just have one great tone and call it a day. He needs a sound that can be absolutely crushingly powerful on one track and then turn around and be super light and atmospheric on the very next one. This really requires the mindset of a sound designer, meticulously crafting the right texture for every single moment. So how does he actually achieve all that versatility? Well, it starts with his tools. I want you to think of his guitar collection not as just a bunch of guitars, but more like a painter's palette, where each instrument offers a very specific sonic color for a very specific purpose. At the very core of his rock sound is this powerhouse, the '59 Les Paul reissue. It gives him that thick, sustaining, and powerful tone that he calls manly. It's really the foundation for the band's heavier riffs and those soaring leads. And this really shows his modern side. He uses a casadosa, which is a high-end boutique instrument, all over the song Lilac. This just proves he's always searching for that perfect, nuanced voice for a specific track, not just sticking with the classics. For those bright, articulate parts, especially on songs where he's using a capo, he reaches for this black Strat. And check out this detail. The rear pickup has been swapped for a Din Marzio DP300. See, this isn't just some off-the-shelf guitar. It's a tool that's been modified and honed for a very specific job. And to round out the palette, you've got the ES335. That semi-hollow body gives it a warm, airy quality that you just can't get from a solid-body guitar. It's the perfect choice for adding space and richness to the band's more delicate and heartfelt songs. So here's the crucial point. Nothing is random here. From the powerful Les Paul for heavy riffs to the airy ES335 for ballads, each and every guitar is a deliberate choice. It's been selected to serve a specific sonic need within the band's incredibly diverse catalog of songs. Okay, so once he's chosen the perfect guitar, how does he bring its sound to life? Well, that's where we get to the brain of the operation, the complex system that gives him total precision and control, both live on stage and in the studio. The absolute heart of his modern rig is the Kemper profiling amp. This thing is a brilliant piece of technology. It lets him capture the exact sound of any vintage or boutique tube amp he can find in the studio. And then he can take all of those perfect tones on the road in one little box. What that means is perfect consistency and pretty much unlimited versatility every single night. His live signal path is just a masterclass in professional setup. The signal goes from a wireless system to a few pedals on the floor. Then it goes into a rack where a programmable switcher, the Free the Tone Arc 4, acts like a traffic cop. It routes the signal through specific pedals, then into the Kemper for the core amp tone, and finally out through a Synergy power amp to a real speaker cabinet. It's a hybrid system that gives him the best of both worlds, digital flexibility with real analog power. Now, with all this incredible technology, it would be so easy to get lost in the gear itself. But that brings us to the most important part of Wakai's entire approach, his guiding principle. And that's that every single choice he makes serves the song's emotion and its story first. This quote says it all. For him, effects aren't just for making cool noises. They're tools to build the specific atmosphere a song demands, to create a worldview, as he calls it. It's all about asking, what does this song need to feel like? And you can really hear this philosophy in action when you compare his tones. For an upbeat song, like Start, the EQ is pushed in the mid so it cuts right through the mix, and the tone is aggressive. But for a ballad like Boku no Koto, the approach is the total opposite. The EQ is flatter so it blends in, and the tone becomes enveloping, using lots of reverb and delay to create space and emotion. So, the big question is, how can we take all these lessons and apply them to our own playing? Well, this final section is all about adopting that sound architect mindset, even if you don't happen to have a professional touring budget. You really don't need a Kemper to think like Wakai. A modern multi-effects unit like the Nux MG30 can give you that same world of amp models. A versatile guitar like the Yamaha Pacifica can cover a ton of that sonic ground. The key here isn't the brand name, it's understanding the function of the gear and finding an affordable alternative that gets the same job done. And here's some practical advice straight from Wakai himself. He really emphasizes making practice fun. Even if you're alone, imagine you're up on stage. He recommends short 15-minute focus sessions over these long, draining ones. And crucially, he says to focus on your picking hand. That's where so much of your tone and dynamics actually come from. All of this, the guitars, the complex rig, the philosophy, the practice advice, it really all boils down to one single overarching question that you should be asking yourself. And that's the ultimate takeaway. Are you choosing songs just to show off a new pedal you bought, or are you choosing pedals to bring your songs to life? If you start to think like a sound architect, you can make every gear choice purposeful, musical, and most importantly, always in service of the song.